ethnic, racial, national, or state genocide in the states. Now I'm bringing this up this morning because Bishop Wilfred Anagbe, that's the bishop representing the Makurdi Catholic Diocese, testified about the happenings in Nigeria. Yes, yesterday during the hearing in US, he testified. He told the stories of the killings, the kidnappings, the sexual violence, and mass displacements going on in the country. So we've all heard of these killings. Even in Benue State, we've heard of, Benue is just close to us here in Enugu. It's not too far. And we've heard of the killings around in Benue State. And we've seen some of the examples. The bishop even cited some of these examples of a reverend father that was shot and left to die. But fortunately, he did not die. He survived, but he has been permanently damaged. This is the country we are living in. This is the country we are living. So Bishop Anagbe thanked the CPC designation, but emphasized that words are not enough. So he's calling for action, he's calling for humanitarian support, he's calling for sanctions, legal reforms, and protection of communities. Now, if you heard him talk yesterday, it now leaves us wondering why the governor of Benue State would say that there's nothing like genocide going on in the states. Why do we have some of the leaders coming out to lie to us for things that we are clearly seeing? For the things that are on videos, we see on news. We see the reports on Benue State, and then a sitting governor who is a reverend father, a Catholic father, coming out to tell us that there is no genocide in the states. Now we are talking of Benue State. We are not talking of some of the states in the south or southeast. We are talking of Benue State that has been on the headline of killings. And then you, as the governor, you say that nothing like this is going on in your states. And now the bishop is countering what the governor said. So why do we have leaders that most times comes to us and tell us that some of these things are not going on, debunking the informations, saying that they are rumors? Meanwhile, we are clearly seeing it going on in Nigeria. All right, we are live on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel on High Voltage News. Like, comment, and share the video so that others can be part of the conversation. And you can also call us in the studio on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. And please ensure that when you do call and when you drop your comments, it should be very clean and very civil. Now going back to what we are talking about today. Yes, it's something that has been making headline since last month. We've been talking about the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. And why we keep saying country of particular concern, we know that some people do not really understand what it's all about. So what are we talking about? What does it even mean? To cut the whole thing short, is the formal way the US flags countries where religious persecution is a very serious problem. And in Nigeria's case, the focus is on attacks against the Christian communities. Though this story is more than that, but this is what we are focusing on. This is what the US are focusing on. The Islamic extremists that are attacking the Christians in Nigeria, in all parts of the country. Now there's a report that since 2009, there has been over 52,000 Christians killed in Nigeria. Since 2009. over 52,000 Christians have been killed in the country. Now that's a lot of number. Tens of thousands more have been displaced. We have countless families that have been traumatized with what is going on in the country. We have so many IDP camps. And we wonder why we should be in our country and we are living in IDP. We are living in camps. We have internally displaced persons that are from the country, running away from their homes because of what is going on. Now, the thing is not that we do not see what is going on in the country. The problem is the fact that our government, our leaders, will see the things that are going on and try to hide it from the public, try to hide it from the international, the government. So we hear a lot of debunking of information, not agreeing to what we've seen. Just yesterday, I saw a report that the police are debunking the information that there was no attack in Kwara State, that there was no attack on worshippers. Now we saw the video. We saw the videos. We all saw it. Now, why are the police, why are the government, why are they debunking the information? So why do we have leaders that keeps denying the very thing that we are seeing in the country? Now let's move to the hearing that happened yesterday. All right, so it took place at the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Africa, chaired by Congressman Chris Smith. And we have some people that we had the U.S. officials like Jonathan Pratt that were present, and the human rights, the labor, and we also had, like I mentioned before, Bishop Wilfred Anabe, who was present in yesterday's hearing, and some of other testifiers. So now here's the part that caught my attention. Congressman Smith said that since 2009, like I mentioned, over 52,000 Christians have been killed in Nigeria. And this is not just some random violence. He specifically pointed to attacks by Fulani militants, by the Boko Haram, by the herdsmen. Now you would sit, you would wonder how these people are getting all the information that they are getting. How they are not in this country, but they know a lot of things going on in the country. They have more information than we living in the country have. Because these are the people sitting on Africa. Sitting, looking for, knowing what is going on, finding out what is going on in the countries. So they know a lot of things. They know the figures. They know for everything that happens, for every attack that goes on in the country, they are aware of it. Because they have people that are reporting to them. So these people are well informed. They are very well informed. So they've described these attacks as things that are happening with complete impunity. Like it keeps going on every day. Every single day. And the thing is that the leaders we have, those in position, have been, most of them have been people that have, in one time or the other, defended these terrorists, called them our Muslim brothers. As a terrorist, you are not a brother to anybody. So why would a leader come out and say that these ones are our brothers? We just have to talk to them in a way that they will understand. We just have to support them. We have so many leaders on the list who had in one way or the other supported these terrorists. And we sit and wonder why it keeps getting worse. we sit and wonder why the government we blame the US for the increased attacks going on in the country. Instead of acting, instead of swinging into action, you sit and you blame the US for designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern. Now a lot of people are saying, enough of the hearing, come into action, come and do something. Because the government might not be able to do anything. Over the years, we've seen that the government has done little or nothing at all to solve the issue of insecurity going on in the country. So is it okay for the United States to come into the country and solve the problem of insecurity for us? Or do we trust that the Nigerian army, that the security personnel can handle this? Just like the secretary to the government said on Wednesday, that Nigeria is capable, that the army officers, they are capable of handling the insecurity going on in the country. But from what we've seen so far, personally I doubt that they are capable of handling what is going on. So this hearing is something we want them to act fast. I know when I speak for majority of the people in the country. That if the government is not doing anything, then there has to be the international body needs to step up. Because why some people complain that they are coming in because of the oil, because of the resources that we have in the country. Now, some people are also asking, is those the resources, is it worth the lives that we've been losing in this country? I mean, these are still the same resources that does not get to the ordinary Nigerian. This is still the same resources that we pay for at a very high amount. And then we feel that this is the reason they want to come into the country. Now let's go back to the hearing. Because with all this that has been going on, when we look at the U.S. official's perspective, we look at Jonathan Pratt that was present during the hearing yesterday. And he said that extremist violence is not just in the Northeast, that it is spreading into the Middle Belt. And I will use Benue State as an example. Because killings are ongoing there. So we are talking about the Boko Harams. We are talking about the ISWAP. We are talking about the ISIS. The Fulani herdsmen. All going around the country, looking for who to kill. So even while the attack in Kwara State, in Kebbi State, we still heard of killings of 2 farmers yesterday. So is the boldness. What is really giving them this boldness to operate in the country? Why do they think that they can just kill anybody and go away with nothing being done to them? So this is what keeps us worried. If we've been hearing stories of these terrorists being apprehended, I mean, we will have hope that something is going on, that the military are acting. But then all we keep hearing on the newspaper headlines is attacks on this place, attacks in schools, kidnapping, people held hostage. Now we want the government to step up. But if they are not ready, then maybe the US government should step up on their behalf and do something. for us that are remaining in the country before they wipe everyone out. Because just like one caller said yesterday, that if care is not taken, Nigeria will be wiped out. And that is not the story we want to hear. That is not the kind of story we want for our nation. We want the security to be tightened. We want the officers to get to work and stop dragging lands. We want them to do the job that they are meant for, what they are supposed to be doing. That is what we are asking the federal government to do. That is exactly. So now let me still go back to it. Jonathan Pratt acknowledged that Nigerian security forces are trying, but he stressed that more needs to be done to protect the vulnerable communities, especially the Christians. So the US is now pushing Nigeria to elevate this as a national priority. This is what they are asking the government to do. So he also said that the US is developing a plan to encourage Nigerians to act. So this could involve the multiple departments from state to treasury, focusing on counter-terrorism. So they are planning ways to make the government to step up. But why do we need external influence before we do what we are supposed to do? Why do we need the US to tell us what to do before we do it? And since the date that Donald Trump designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, we've not really seen improvements. We are yet to see. We thought it was going to be a wake-up call to the government. But from what we are seeing, no, the government is still sleeping. Is this how we are going to continue as Nigerians? Wake up tomorrow to another news of someone that was attacked, to another news of someone that was kidnapped. This is not the life we planned for as a nation. So maybe the government should leave what they are doing and focus on what is of more priority. We've seen the unfair judgment that they've given. We see the people that they tag terrorists in the country that are not really terrorists. And they leave those who are carrying the guns and attack those who are not harmful. We see the minds of the government, how divided the attention is, how they are not really focused on what really matters in this country. So the government really needs to do something, because we cannot continue to live like this. Really cannot continue. In the northern states, a lot of people are dying. The middle belt, people are dying, people are being killed. Abuja, that used to be very peaceful, is now one of the states that we also see attacks going on. So there are so many reactions in concerning this issue of insecurity in the country. There are so many reactions. And we would like to take your reaction on the issue of the designation, the hearing that went on yesterday. We would like to take your reaction, but we will go on a short break. And when we return, we'll open the phone lines to hear what you have to say. Yes, you're welcome back to High Voltage on Volt 104.3 FM, your weekday news analysis show where we review and analyze the news. The phone lines are opened on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. You can call in and let us know your reactions on the incidents that has been going on in the country and also the hearing that took place yesterday in US. All right, so while we move on to this, because the thing is, for years in this country, ordinary Nigerians, citizens have been burying their loved ones. They've been doing this. Why there are powerful voices in Abuja, in northern states, they've been busy massaging the egos of the killers and sympathizing with them. Sympathizing with those that they should arrest. So these leaders, and I really need to refresh your memories so you will understand what I'm talking about. Because most of these leaders in position, it feels like with what they are doing, with the action they are taking, with the words, the things they are saying, it feels like they are in support of what is going on in the country. Because if you are not supporting it, then you will do otherwise of what we are seeing. Now in 2013, the late president, Muhammadu Buhari, he said that the military offensive against Boko Haram is anti-North. Now I want to take you to all that our leaders, some of our leaders, some of those that are currently in position, have said over the years. So he said that any military against Boko Haram is anti-North. Now this will, so many people might not remember this, but those who have lost their family members, we have this talk in their mind. That a leader came out and said that if the military is against Boko Haram, it makes them anti-North. We are wondering what will give a leader that kind of boldness to come out and say something like this in the midst of the killings going on in the country. And this was when he was attacking Jonathan's state of emergency in Borno State, in Yobe and Adamawa State. That was when he made the statement. Now a lot of people have lost their family members to this. And when we look at it, in Kaduna, El-Rufai openly admitted that his government traced violent Fulani herdsmen outside of Nigeria and paid them to stop killing people in southern Kaduna. So they paid Fulani herdsmen to stop killing people. And he said he had no problem paying compensations to them. This was a governor proudly saying that there was nothing wrong in paying bandits compensations. This was when he was a sitting governor. That was when he made this statement that he had no problem paying them compensations. Because when we look at all that is going on, we need to go back to how it all started. How it was tolerated by the leaders. Because if it's still going on, it's because people allowed it. If our government did not allow these killings, by now, We wouldn't be hearing of increased attacks in our communities, in our villages. We would not be hearing of things like this. We also have people, we have Issa Pantani, who later became the Minister of Communications, that described Boko Haram as our Muslim brothers. He described the Boko Haram fighters as our Muslim brothers and complained that they were being killed like pigs. Now I'm bringing back their statement to refresh us so that you understand why most of them are quiet with what is going on. Why most of the leaders we have in the country are quiet in the midst of all the troubles, in the midst of all the killings going on in the different states. Now imagine someone complaining that bandits are being killed. We have a farmer that was sentenced to death for defending himself against a Fulani herdsman. He was sentenced to death. Now tell me when self-defense in the country has become a crime. Because if it was the other way around, the herdsmen would be walking around freely and nothing would be done to them. Now someone came to your land, to your farm, and tried to attack you, and in defense, you killed the herdsman, and then you are sentenced. The Nigerian judiciary sentenced you to life, to death sentence. Now it's not making sense. A lot of things are going on with the leadership of the country. We saw the sentencing that was done yesterday. Now, does that we had the prosecutors demanding for death sentence? Was that okay? Now we make the wrong judgments in the country on innocent people being sent to jail. A lot of things going wrong. Leaders not doing the right thing. Leaders not stepping up. These are not the things we want in the country. Because when I keep telling you of all the statements that even the vice president, the current vice president, has made concerning these terrorists, you'll be so shocked at the things that are going on in this country. The hidden things. So 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. Call us and let us know your reactions on all that has been going on in the country. We are all tired. We all are tired in this country. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you're welcome. Please, your name and your location. All right. Go ahead, please.
All right. By this time, I'm thinking that Nigeria would have been a very good place for all of us to stay. And everything will be smoothly, and all our brothers and sisters in diaspora will start coming back. Every place will look very fantastic. Everybody will look relaxed. But unfortunately, my thought was not the way things that happening now. Because after the completion of Martin and the candidate, I was thinking that by this time today, everywhere will be very good, everywhere will be very smooth, things will start moving normal, the price of things will come down, things will stop, and the country will be very, very okay, like just like maybe Dubai or that country that is very, very good. But unfortunately, it's not so. According to the news this morning, over 100 students is kidnapped in Niger State. Just a country school, Niger State. Over 100 students. Just yesterday night, after the kind of completion. Then this morning, news came again that over 8 civil defense members were killed. The same people, the same terrorists, the same bandits and nobody from the government is coming out to say something reasonable about it. No effort putting to resolve the problem we are facing in this country. I'm hearing the chief of army staff saying he's going to recruit force people into Nigeria and if they refuse to enter by themselves. Is that to solve the problem? Is that thing that is going to solve Nigeria's problem? The ones that are being recruited, how are they treating them? How are they thinking about the affairs of them and their family, both those ones that have lost their life during the fight? Is it the one that you join when you are in the place where the army should come and save you? They will be the one to call the terrorists to come and kill you there. Which kind of thing are we seeing in this country? So if the government should do something, or in fact, we are no longer calling on the Nigerian government because they cannot do anything. I think they are biased. They can't do anything anymore. They should call. We are calling on the United States to come and save the Christian in this country because they are the people they are targeting us. They want to Islamize the whole country. They should remember there is no possible. But when you get me, I had it possible. And this group is divided into two. One is preaching through Niger going to southeast, to southwest, sorry. The other one is going directly into north, to Abuja. And all these things are happening in our very eye. Nobody is coming out to fight them. Nobody is coming out to do anything. Even the international body are keeping quiet. The only US that is saying something they want, they are not coming up to take action on what they are. No, I'm not happy with the way things are going in this country. I'm not happy. And we should come out and to do something ourselves. But this will carry us anyway. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. All right, 0706-048-5853 or 0915-570-8347. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome. Your name and your location. All right, please go ahead.
Okay. Well, I don't even know where to start from because I think at this point, if we can only accept the fact that Nigeria is already in shambles. Okay. Now talking about the conviction of Nnamdi Kanu, please know that the conviction of Nnamdi Kanu is not just him alone. It is the whole of the whole of the Igbos were actually convicted with him. Okay, I see a nation or just a system of justice where things, there are some things that are being swept under the carpet simply because, maybe they feel those ones are more favorable to them. Okay, so now, and where I'm actually having this issue here is that when Nnamdi Kanu was convicted for years, nobody, no influential person, no influential politician, nobody, was speaking up from the southeast. Okay, apart from Showore and maybe VDM and the rest, nobody from the southeast were actually saying something about the detention of this man. And now this man has been sentenced to life imprisonment, and then of course you see so many people coming out there on social media to say nonsense. That is a proof that sometimes I put my arms and I'll be like, this thing that Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for, is he really fighting for the right thing? Because okay, look at it. We are going about our normal things, our businesses, schools, everything just going normal. But this man has been fighting for something that nobody was actually giving him that support. The people that should be speaking, that should be saying something, did not do anything up to this very moment. Okay, now talking about the killings in most of the northern churches. I released the video yesterday, and of course I got so many reactions and stupid comments on that. Because what has our religious leaders done about the killings of these Christians, especially in the northern part of Nigeria? Because it seems that the only thing that is going in Nigeria is our tithe, our seed of faith, our offering, and all those things. But what are they doing about it? Maybe they're more concerned about church growth. They're more concerned about evangelism. But what they should be doing, they're supposed to use their platform, use their influence, use their institutions and their voices to speak. But none of them did those things. Maybe because they were more concerned about things that matters to them. So Nnamdi Kanu's conviction is not just his personal conviction alone. It is conviction of the progress of the Igbos. It is the conviction of the whole southeastern part of Nigeria. I think I will just have to leave it from here.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, 0706-048-5853 or 0915-570-8347. You can call us and let us know your reaction. The truth remains that we are not happy about the things that are going on in the country. The wrong judgments on the innocent people, and then the free will that has been given to the terrorists. Those that should be arrested, those that should be jailed for life, are being, they just bring them and plead amnesty for them and send them forth into the military, into the people are supposed to be protecting us. Most of them are part of the terrorists. They were once terrorists, and now they are in the midst of our soldiers, our military officers. And you wonder why this keeps progressing, why the killings in the country keeps rising every day. Because they know everything going on in the country. They are so aware of the things going on in the country. They have this backing that gives them the boldness to operate anywhere, to kill a general, to do anything, to attack in a broad daylight. Because when you are silent as a government, it means you are supporting. Because until you start acting, the people will never believe that the government is not in support of what is going on. We need to see the actions of the government. And one of the callers said that we are no longer calling upon the government because we know they are not going to do anything. Now the people have left with no hope on this government. We are now trusting the external forces to come and rescue us in our country, which is not supposed to be so. Why do we have many officers when they are not fighting for us? Why do we need recruitment? Yes, I saw that news about forcing, once you are 18 and above, that you'll be forced to be part of the army. So why do we need to recruit them when they are being killed and nothing is being done about their lives and the lives of the ordinary citizens? Because from the past events that has been going on, it feels like the government, that they are so supportive, that they feel so sorry for these terrorists. That is why they are not acting. That all they want is to negotiate with the bandits, with the Fulani herdsmen. Negotiations is not what we need. That is not what we need. The phone lines are still open on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. Now, when I was talking about some of the leaders, what they said about these terrorists, yes, I mentioned the vice president, the current vice president. I mentioned it. Now, here's one thing about him. Kashim Shettima in 2011 once said that Boko Haram people, that they are human beings who deserve fair hearing, and called them our brothers, calling for dialogue instead of a crackdown. Please, I need you to understand this again. Imagine saying that terrorists deserve fair hearing.